And welcome back. And we have, as promised, Sherrill Braswell with us this morning. And Sherrill is going to talk to us about what?
Some New Year's financial resolutions.
Oh, boy, do we need that. Woo. We've spent a lot of money at Christmas, Sherrill.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Spent a lot of money at Christmas, so tell us how to get out of this.
Yeah. It's not rocket science, but it's kind of tough.
Right.
You know,
Right.
It's one of them discipline things.
Oh, yes.
You know, the simple thing is, you know, we as a society, we have a spending problem.
Yes. I think everybody has a little bit of that.
Most of us, you know, have done a fairly decent job through time of you know, getting a decent job and making a decent income, but we don't, you know, it's the old story of expenses rise to meet income.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
and we don't pay attention to that.
Right.
And it gets us, a lot of us, into a lot of trouble, and it takes a while to dig out of it.
Well, we make resolutions about our weight, about our eating habits, about this, about that. Should we make financial resolutions?
Absolutely, because you think about it, Sandra, you've got to have a plan, no matter what you're doing. If you're
Right.
if you're building a house, you do not call Lowe's and say, "Look, I'm going to send a truck over there, and I want to build a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath house, and you know, have a formal dining room, and y'all just put what I need on the truck and send it
Right.
back over."
Exactly.
That's not going to work.
No.
That's not going to work.
Not quite.
You've got to have a plan, and you know, your finances, absolutely, positively, the same situation. You've got to get your mind in the right place, and probably the first step there is to, you know, and this horrifies people, live beneath your means.
Yes.
You know, just because you qualify to buy a $300,000 house doesn't mean you need to do that.
That's right.
You know, because
Exactly.
we don't think about all the ancillary expenses that come along with owning a
yes.
house, you know, maintenance, and boy, I'm going through that right now. We're having to redo a couple of our bathrooms because we've been in that house for 28, 29 years, you know. Things are starting to break. And it's amazing what it costs. And we looked and looked and looked, and it's just incredible what, you know, what supplies cost and labor
Yes.
to get people to work. And you know, thankfully we've got some really good folks doing it. They're on time, you know, they're there,
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing. But yeah, you got it.
But they got to be paid.
They got to be paid. And you know, again, the bottom line, learning to live, you know, beneath your means is, you know, to me, that's the secret sauce in you know, what I call financial freedom. You know, getting to the point where you're not worried about your money.
Right.
And you know, you've got to set up a target. You know, you got to set up a target for yourself and look at that periodically. I mean, obviously, at least once a year, you want to sit down and take a hard look at, you know, what did we accomplish this past year? You know,
Right.
maybe I tried to get rid of, you know, a personal loan I had, or credit card debt, you know, whatever that was, or maybe, you know, putting more money into, you know, a savings account for kids for college, things like that, you know, or trying to, you know, help people in charitable organizations, you know, being
Right.
able to give them money for that. Yeah.
Exactly. Are there simple steps that we can take to get started?
Yes, there are. I just want to kind of run through about 3 or 4 ideas this morning. And, you know, I want to talk about these things more as the year goes on, and sort of kind of flesh out some of these ideas and put some substance behind them and give you some, you know, actionable ideas of the
Right.
things you can accomplish. The simple step, you know, this is just my mind-boggling idea, but just save, S-A-V-E, save more of your money.
Right. Do you really need to stop at the store and buy that $3 little bottle of Coke?
Yeah, exactly. I just Googled savings, average household savings in the United States. And, just got all kinds of information. But the bottom line was, as a whole, the average person saves about 4% of what they make. And y'all, that is not going to get you anywhere close to where you need to be. And, anything that you do, in the investment world, if you're truly investing, it takes time. It is not. You invest, a dollar over here in whatever it is. I got news for you. It does not return. If you put in $1, it doesn't give you $5 back.
That's right.
Not today. It takes a while. Investments have to have time to grow, to build wealth. So do not wait. I can't tell you the number of folks I talk to that are, 55, 60 years old, and I'm going to be retiring in 2 or 3 years. What do I need to do?
Right. Ooh, kind of late.
Yeah.
But is it ever too late to start saving, though?
It's not. It's better to be doing something.
Even though you haven't done anything.
Right. Yeah, you've got to. Obviously, the sooner you get into it, if you want to do your children a huge favor, when they're still in grade school and high school, give them an allowance. Teach them how to manage some money. If they want to, if you want them to put 10% of their money into charitable organizations, into your church, into whatever group it is that you might want to help out, let them do it. Let them do it. Talk to them about, have them spend some of their money on their own maintenance. On buying some clothes for themselves. A game, things like we did that with our son. He started talking about, I want to get so-and-so. I looked at him, wanted an Xbox. That's what it was, first time. Wanted an Xbox. And back then, I think they were going for around $300 or $400. And I said, not going to happen. Just not going to do it. Not willing to pay for that. And I said, well, what we'll do, though, let's do this. If you can raise half the money, I'll match it. I thought, I'll never hear about this again.
Right.
And 2 or 3 days later, man, he was out knocking on doors in the neighborhood, to do yard work for people. And he and another fella literally developed a business while they were in, grade school and high school and first year or two of college, that they worked, for people in our general
that's good.
area, over in Nashville. Had a bunch of folks that they did yard work and things for, and everything we did with him, for him, was a 50-50 proposition. And it has truly, I look at him now, him and his wife and kids, and their financial mindset is just outstanding. It is just, amazing what they have been able to accomplish in working together and being aware of what they're doing. And they're definitely working on the saving as much as they possibly can.
Well, so how do we spot quality companies?
Okay. Again, these things, they're not rocket science. It's in a lot of investing is common sense. And for me, the thing that I look for is, I look for a company. One thing, I want to understand what I'm looking at.
Right, sure.
That's why I still have a tough time with like cryptocurrency. I know more than I did a year ago, but still not comfortable yet. You think of a company like Procter & Gamble.
Right.
And you think of what do. They handle things like, household cleaning products, things of that nature.
Gotta have them. Gotta have them.
Gotta have them, And then you look at these companies, you look at their products. Is it something that people use? I mean, that's the easy thing for me. Is this somebody who's providing a service or a product that is needed, that's essential? And then you look at their history, and I look at what kind of dividends they have paid
Sure.
in their dividend history, because what's a dividend? A dividend is a company paying to its shareholders a portion of the profits.
Right.
So if they've been steady, doing that over time, that's a key indicator. I mean, we use a lot of what we call dividend kings, dividend aristocrats, and that are companies that have been paying a dividend for a minimum of 25 years in a row. Well, first of all, they've been around for 25 years.
Right.
And they've been increasing their dividend over 25 years. That means the business is improving
Right.
as it's going along.
Absolutely.
So that's a simple way to spot it. You just study the dividend history.
You've got to study. You've got to do research.
Oh my gosh.
You can't just,
Oh my gosh.
this is a good company.
Yeah.
It just don't work that way. You've got to do your research. You've got to study. You've got to, talk to the professionals. I mean, you really do.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you got to study. You realize stocks. They are a reflection of that company. Now, let's talk about it in terms of like your business, my business. Is every year a banner year?
No, absolutely. And
No.
it's not going to be
You're not
for
going to
any
be,
company.
and so you don't sell it.
Right.
You think, okay, what can we do better? How can we improve?
Right.
And so, you have the stock market going up and down. It's basically a reflection of the business community.
Right.
So, you look at companies that have, over time, steadily improved what they're doing. They may have a bad year. We all do.
That's right.
We all do. At times, you have good years, you have bad years. You don't sell that stock because if most people, they look at stocks, well, it's $1. My gosh, 8 weeks later it's $5. Maybe I need to buy that. It's
Right.
going up, and then it starts to fall, and so they hold on to it until the very last second. They think, well, gosh, it's just going down so much, I better sell it. And so they buy it high and they sell it low,
Right.
which is a perfect way to go broke. So you've got to have an idea in your mind of what your parameters are going to be, for buying a company or buying the stocks in a company, and building a portfolio in that fashion. So again, it's not rocket science. Slow and steady wins the race over time. So get your kids and yourself saving money early, because it is. I'll do a segment on that one day about how money works over time, because it's amazing what you can do as a young person with not huge amount of money that will set you up for life.
Absolutely.
It is incredible what you can actually do there.
Right. Absolutely. Do we sit and forget?
No, ma'am. You talked about learning. You never stop learning. One of the quotes I like to think about and tell folks is, there's a guy named Charlie Munger who was one of Warren Buffett's buddies and
Right.
cohorts and collaborators. And one of his things that he would say to people, and I'll quote this: "You have to keep learning if you want to become a great investor. When the world changes, you've got to make some changes."
Absolutely.
And you think about it, again, we talk about just your business, my business. Business is always changing. Isn't
That's
that
right.
the truth?
Yes.
As the great philosopher Rosanna Dana said,
Right.
it's always something. There's
Constantly having to
something.
reinvent.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the perfect.
Constantly.
Yeah, competition and technology are just a fact of life.
Yes, they
and
are.
changes in those things are just an absolute fact of life.
Yes.
Things that happen. I'll just pick one out of the hat. Something that happens in the Ukraine.
Yeah.
affects what happens, affects things here in the United States.
That's
right. I mean, no matter where, there are things all over the world that, have an effect on what goes on here.
Right.
So, you've always got to keep learning, so you can learn the things to look for when you want to invest your money in whatever it is. If it is in, stock portfolio, some real estate to go along with your stock portfolio, there's always things that you can learn because, tax laws change.
Oh, yeah.
Tax
yes.
laws change, and that affects, what you're doing.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with everything.
It is.
I mean, it really is. You've got to have a professional, and that's where people like you, Sherrill, come in because we're good at what we do.
Yep.
But we don't know everything there is to know, and we need to know what to do with our money, as Sherrill has been saying this morning, so that we can have something for
Yes.
our children, for us when we get older, so we won't struggle. I mean, go to a professional. Call Sherrill, 316-8166. He's just a phone call away.
Yep.
Call and make an appointment. You would
Absolutely,
suggest that.
absolutely, because it's, we work with a lot of obviously retired people,
Mm-hmm.
and some of our folks are beyond age 50,
Yes.
way beyond age 50. So we go see them. They're not, some of them can't drive.
Well, I think that's a great service
Yeah.
that you offer.
So
I mean, it really is.
If you call us, we'll set an appointment. And again, if you call, please, please, please leave a message. And somebody will get back to you. We do our utmost to get back to you that same day. Sometimes it's a day later. But give us a call. We'll set up a time. We'll sit down with you, give you an idea of things that can be done. It's not a cost for doing that. We sit down with folks and do that little second opinion, I call it, without
How
charge.
long do people have to set up an IRA? Sherrill?
You can, for the 2023
Yes.
tax year, you can work or set one up through your regular tax filing day.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, call Sherrill about any questions you may have. You set up an appointment, go see him, and you're located.
880 Country Club Road, corner of Country Club and Hunter Hill Road, across the street from the Pizza Inn. I call them the business condominium sitting on the corner. We're on the right-hand end, closest to the intersection.
Absolutely.
The last unit on the end of the building.
And 316-8166 is the phone number. So
Yeah.
thank you for coming again and
Yes,
sharing
ma'am.
some
Thank you.
just such valuable information, Sherrill, for us. So we'll be right back right after this.